What's up, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to Oaklands. Today we have a slightly different kind of video, and in today's video, we're gonna be ranking every ore in Oaklands from D to S tier. Now, if you don't know how a tier list works, it's basically ranking the quality, or in this case, I'm going to be ranking the profitability of ores so you know what to grind in Oaklands for the best profit per minute. And it's not strictly based on profit per minute, it's also based on my preference, rarity. It's a very opinionated list, so it's not final. This is obviously subjective. So, with that in mind, let's get started. Now, how a tier list works is D is the worst, C is better. We'll say D is absolutely avoid. C is it's okay if you're in a pinch or you need it for building. B, it's not great for money, just for building. A, it's pretty decent for building or it's pretty decent for grinding. And S means it's the best for grinding cash. Now, this is also going to be based on rarity. So magnetite, for example, has an insane value, but it is exceedingly rare. Over 4 days of playtime, so 96 hours, I've only found around 5 pieces. So this is also going to be based on rarity as well as the price of the ores. So let's get started. So first we have Adderite. Now, if you don't know, Adderite was a new ore added very recently in the 1.3 update, and it has a pretty high value. But the thing is, I haven't managed to find a single piece of it so far, and for that reason, I'm gonna be putting it in A tier since it has an insane value, but it's so rare. I don't think I've even seen a screenshot on the Oaklands Discord of someone finding it. Anyway, moving on. Next, we have copper. Copper, it's pretty common. It's not worth that much. It's not that great for grinding, but because it's so common and since it's worth a little decent amount of money, especially for new players, I'll put it in B tier. Now, moving on, we have gold. Gold and iron is going to be your bread and butter of grinding in this game. You have a truckload of gold and iron. That's around 6 to 8k every time. I believe one full cylinder and one full trailer of just gold and iron will give you like 15k. So it's definitely what you're going to be using to get your money in Oaklands. So for that reason, it will be in S tier. And iron, I just explained it. The same situation as gold. It's worth a good amount of money, and it's definitely raw to rare. You can easily find it when you're out grinding. Alright, next we have, now, you might have noticed something missing, and that's the slates. So all these ores, this is for example beige slate, light slate, and dark slate, sandstone, marble. The only one I've included is marble, because all the other slates are absolute garbage for grinding. They would go in D tier. Just thought I'd let you know. Anyway, marble is a C tier. It looks pretty good for building, if I'm being honest, but it's really not great for grinding. Alright, moving on, we have mithril. Same situation as adderite. However, I do believe it is more common, so I'm actually going to bump this one up to A tier since it's insanely profitable. And I usually find around 1 or 2 pieces each trip, so it's not too rare, but it has pretty good value. Now, the plastic limited ore that was added in the game for 48 hours for 2 million visits, it's a D tier. It really doesn't even look that great for building. It's limited. It's not even in the game anymore. Please don't sell it at the dropper for profit. Maybe it'll gain value in the future with new players who want to buy it because they think it looks cool or it was a part of the game's history. But right now, as of the time of this recording, solid D tier. Alright, moving on, we have pyrite. Now, pyrite is a little bit of a trickster because it kind of tricks you into thinking it's gold, which happens in real life too. That's why it's also called fool's gold. But it's really not worth much. In fact, I believe it's worth less than iron and less than copper. So it's really not great for grinding. It's going in C tier. It's really common, but you shouldn't be hunting it down. Quartz also looks like it's really profitable, especially because of its cousin Rosa Flama quartz, which I'll talk about later. But quartz is actually one of the least profitable ores. I believe it's worth actually less than pyrite as well, and it's not even that common to be honest. So I don't know. It's a D plus tier. That's what I'm gonna give it. It's in between these two. Oop. All right. Now moving on to magnetite. I said this in the beginning of the video. Magnetite is exceedingly rare, and when you find it, you usually only find a tiny bite-sized piece. That's why I just don't recommend hunting for it. I know many people are making some profit in private servers where they reload the server at night so that more magnetite generates, and it is pretty easy to locate because of its glow, but it's still extremely rare and it only spawns at night. But it's also worth a good amount of money, and so I'll put it in A tier, but don't go hunting for it. You're just gonna be disappointed. Alright. Oh, and also a quick note with magnetite, you actually get less money if you forge it, so don't put it in the fire pit processor thing. Just put it through the first layer, which is a refiner, and that gives you 1,000 per stud. If you forge it, it actually loses 40% of its value, which is very unique to this ore compared to any other ore. And the reason for that is magnets in real life, when you heat them up, they actually lose their magnetic properties, so I guess it's a nice little Easter egg in Oaklands. Anyway, moving on. Next, we have Rosa Flama Quartz. Now, Rosa Flama Quartz was added in the 1.1 or 1.2 update, I don't really remember. And it's a pink ore that basically is a rare variant of quartz, and it's worth a good amount of money. I usually find 2 to 3 pieces of this every run I do for gold and iron when I'm mining on the mountains, and it's pretty well priced. It can give you a lot of money, especially because of the size of marbles ores. You get a huge chunk of it, and it sells for a good amount of money, usually around 5k a piece, so it's going in S tier. Alright, next we have sandstone. The only thing you get from sandstone is glass, apart from obviously the sandstone itself. Glass is cool for building, make transparent objects, windows, etc., but it really sucks for grinding. So only because it's good for grinding. Also, I just realized that I switched the D and C categories. Ignore that. This is supposed to be D, this is supposed to be C. So, anyway, going back to where I was, only because of its pretty unique properties of obviously being transparent, I'm gonna put it in D. And remember, it only becomes glass if you forge and refine it. So, just to let you know. And finally, we have tin. Tin, I at first thought it looked like silver, so I thought it was insanely valuable. But no, it's actually one of the least valuable ores. It's more than pyrite, I believe, but less than copper. So for that reason, it's gonna go on the same level as copper. Well, I mean, it is what it is. It's not too rare, but it's really not worth much either. I wouldn't recommend even putting this in your car. I don't even put that in my car if I'm being honest. I only usually go for copper and above. And copper also, no, I really only go for iron and above. So, thank you for watching this video. And before I end, let me just tell you what ores I personally look for. I look for iron, gold, mithril, and adorite, obviously, although I never find adorite. Magnetite, I believe I've gotten like 3 times in my whole playthrough. Rosa Flama Quartz is great. And if I see copper, tin, pyrite, just the regular marble with no ores in it, quartz, regular quartz, not Rosa Flama, or sandstone, and you can't get the plastic game or plastic ore in game anymore, I just ignore all of this. So ignore literally everything below this line for grinding. I don't recommend going for it, and all of this stuff is pretty good. So that's it for this video. If you found it helpful or informative, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and while you're at it, join my Discord server, link in pinned comment. See ya!